So the Nintendo Switch 2 has been out for a little over 4 months now, and it's basically about a third of the year as the system came out at the start of the summer and now we're pretty much into the fall. So I've definitely started to see some more opinions start to come out about how people are feeling about their purchase and their system, but I've also been seeing some interesting kind of things that people are saying in the sense of like people having buyer's remorse about it, saying that they kind of feel like that they shouldn't have got the Nintendo Switch 2, and some people being like that it's not really being used that much. So I figured I'd kind of talk about it a little bit because I want to kind of share how I feel about it personally and how I feel about my Nintendo Switch 2, and I wanted to see where you guys kind of feel about it as well. Now real quick before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Elestrals. If you watch my videos, you probably enjoy stuff like Pokemon, Zelda, and RPGs. Well, now there's an incredible game in development that features monster catching, RPG exploration, and bullet hell boss battles all into one epic adventure. Elestrals Awaken is a 2.5D pixel art monster catching RPG for PC and Nintendo Switch that's set in a world inspired by Greek mythology. It's a game where you can bond with elemental spirits, challenge divines, and explore titan temples packed with puzzles and secrets. There's some really cool gameplay mechanics like spirit points and ascending Elestrals into new forms. Right now, Elestrals Awaken is having their Kickstarter campaign until November 7th, and you can back it with some amazing rewards. From obtaining alpha and beta access, exclusive in-game unlocks and add-ons, and even becoming an NPC or caster for the game itself. This is your one chance to be involved in this very promising passion project with massive potential. Feel free to check out more about Elestrals Awaken and back their Kickstarter from the link in the description below, and thank you so much again to Elestrals for sponsoring the video. Now, I put up a poll here about this on my YouTube community tab where I asked you guys and said here, thinking about making a video on this, but how do you currently feel about your Nintendo Switch 2? And so about a quarter of you guys with like 26% said that you don't have a Nintendo Switch 2, which I feel like makes sense because the system is still very recent. But if we take a look right here, over half of you guys with 53% said that you love it and that you use it a lot. And even below that, another 16% still said that it's nice and you use it from time to time. So really like close to 70% have positive things to say about it. And then it's really just this very small 6% here that are saying, I kind of regret getting it, it isn't used much. And really from a lot of the posts and things that I've been seeing with people saying that they have Nintendo Switch 2 buyer's remorse, I've seen a lot of people saying that they're just not using their Nintendo Switch 2 as much as they thought because we have had the Nintendo Switch for like 8 years. It's been such a long time and people have been asking for the Switch 2 for so many years. Like people have just been asking for new hardware from Nintendo to be more powerful and be able to handle a lot of their new games and third-party games and things like that. And so people have been asking for this for so long. So it just felt like there was so much hype, and some people are now thinking like it didn't really kind of live up to that. And I know there's some people who still even think like the Switch 2 is just very kind of basic and they didn't really do much to it. That's a whole other discussion, but I know the people who are saying that they kind of regret it or saying like it's not really being used as much. And the way that I kind of see this, I honestly feel like that's kind of normal. And to be honest with you guys, I feel like that's kind of the situation for me also, but I don't have buyer's remorse about this system. Really, unless you have like a game that you can daily drive that you play pretty much every single day, usually like online games, like if you play something like Splatoon or Mario Kart Races Online or Smash Bros or Pokemon Online Battles or something like that, then you pretty much don't really have a game that you're always just going to be constantly playing on your Nintendo Switch 2. So I think the people who are saying that it's just like collecting dust or it's not being used that much, that's a normal thing for an early adopter for any new system because there isn't going to be a whole bunch of things available for you to play right away, and you're going to have to wait for these big new releases and exclusives to slowly come out. I mean, I remember it was like this even with the original Nintendo Switch, as that was the very first system that I was able to buy day one thanks to your guys' support. And I remember when I got my Nintendo Switch day one, I got Breath of the Wild because that was of course the big launch game to play. And then I pretty much like ended up finishing that game right before Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out. So then I got that game, which was like the next big release on the system. I did all of the cups and I 3-starred everything in that. And then I played some online races for a little bit. But then even after that, I think once we got to like May and like the early part of June, I kind of stopped playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe also. and then I didn't really play anything on my Switch, and it kind of just sat around because I didn't have anything else to play. And the next big release that I was interested in was Splatoon 2, which didn't come out till like the middle of July, so I still had to wait a little bit. And then even after that, I did like the campaign for Splatoon 2, I did some online ranked games and stuff like that, and then after a little bit, I waited until like I think Super Mario Odyssey came out, because that was like the next other game that I was really interested in. So really, whenever you get a brand new system, that's always kind of going to be the case, that you're just going to have it kind of collecting dust for a little bit, maybe kind of just sitting around, unless you have some type of daily game that you always play as you're just waiting for the next big release. And this is also a big reason why some people don't buy brand new systems immediately and will wait a little bit until the library has grown, so that they have more options, and whatever game that they do buy with their system, as soon as they're done that, they have a bunch of other options for things to play. So if you think about like somebody who got maybe a Nintendo Switch in 2019, well, think about it now, because at that point you have stuff like Zelda, you have Mario Odyssey, you have Splatoon 2, you have Pokemon, you have Fire Emblem, you have Xenoblade. Like, there's so many more things that you can play, so that even if you finish one of those games, you already have something new that you can just get right away, as long as you can afford it. And of course, I bought the Nintendo Switch 2 day one as well, and so this has been a very similar experience to when I got my original Switch as well, where I got the Nintendo Switch 2, the big day one game was of course Mario Kart World, and for like a good 2 weeks or so, I did play a bunch of Mario Kart World. I did all of the Grand Prix and got 3 stars in all of that. I got 3 stars in all the Knockout Tour. I did a little bit of like the open world stuff. I played online races with some friends and stuff, and then after that, I kind of just stopped playing Mario Kart World, and my Nintendo Switch 2 kind of just sat around until Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, which was the next big game that I was interested in, and I played that for a long time too. I collected a bunch of the Bonandium gems, I upgraded my character a lot, I played through that entire game, and then once again, after I beat that game, my Nintendo Switch 2 kind of just sat around, and it didn't really get used until Pokemon Legends ZA just came out a few days ago. I am still playing that from the time that I'm making this video right now. I just made it to rank C, so I am getting slowly closer to the end, but I'm also having a lot of fun with this game, and I'm just really kind of savoring my experience and trying to do as much as I can before I finish it. But even once I beat Pokemon Legends ZA, it's also going to be very similar, where I'm just going to have my Nintendo Switch 2 kind of sitting around until another game that I'm interested in comes out. And I know there's supposed to be a brand new Fire Emblem game next year, so that is definitely going to be probably the next thing on my radar that I'm just going to be waiting for, or maybe they'll have like an early 2026 Nintendo Direct that will show some other stuff coming early into the year. But I mean, there are other games still releasing. I don't really have any interest particularly in getting like the Age of Imprisonment game, like the prequel to Tears of the Kingdom. And then Metroid Prime 4 looks cool, but I never got to play some of the other ones, and I kind of wish that there was a way to experience those first before getting into Metroid Prime 4, which is going to be a continuation. But yeah, it's kind of going to be like that, and I feel like it's definitely normal for people where if you don't have a game that you're interested in, your brand new system is just kind of going to be sitting around until there is something for you that comes out. And that's why if you are one of those people who doesn't have a Nintendo Switch 2 currently, and you decide to get it in like the end of 2026 or early 2027, then for sure you're going to have so many more options for games to play. So it's definitely going to be nicer for you, because then you're going to have so many things that you can experience, like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, a new Fire Emblem game. There's probably going to be a lot more other stuff coming out next year too, so there's definitely a benefit to waiting a little bit as well. But yeah, there you go guys, those are pretty much my thoughts on how I'm feeling currently about my Nintendo Switch 2, and how I've been seeing some people saying that they have a little bit of regret about it and buyer's remorse. I do feel like it is kind of a small minority still, and like you saw from my poll, and really a lot of other people, I feel like are still very satisfied and happy with their Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button, and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about Nintendo, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Do you have a Nintendo Switch 2? Did you regret getting yours, or are you enjoying it a lot? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.